Do you crave an intimate, real relationship? Are you insecure and scared to face reality, so you go online and date people because that's in your comfort zone? Are you heartbroken and in need of a rebound? Do you have no game in physical dating? Well, fear not. You are not alone. When there's a problem, there's always a solution, and lucky for you, Tinder is here to save you. Tinder is an online dating app that uses location-based networking to find your partner. Users can swipe right to like and swipe left to dislike. If you both swipe right to each other, you will be matched and can start conversations with each other. Statistic has shown that 45% of users are aged 25 to 34, 38% are 16 to 24. 35 to 44-year-olds make up just 13% of the user pool, and 45 to 54-year-olds, 3%. Tinder is wildly popular among millennials, which is excellent if you are one, but not so much if you're not. However, the match percentage for Tinder is quite low, for women being 52% and for men 16%, but that means there's always the possibility, right? So it begs the question: to what extent do the impacts of Tinder, either positive or negative, affects its user? People who have been using Tinder have been testifying and are aware of the impacts of Tinder. Be it positive or negative, there is always something to say. This presentation will show how the usage of Tinder impacts the user itself. A swipe can change your life, is one of the power lines in the documentary, The Tinder Swindler by Felicity Morris, which is available on Netflix. This documentary unravels a Ponzi scheme by a man named Simon Alvale, where his victims in an interview-like setting expose him. This documentary is one of the proofs that Tinder may be a bad platform to get involved with, because basically, you are matching with strangers with an unknown background. Even with some stalking done on Google and Instagram, it only shows a brief description of the person you want to link with. This could be considered a significant security issue for the users. At the beginning of the documentary, we could observe how the victims talk about Tinder. They said that Tinder is a confidence booster and quite addicting. After the victims matched with Simon and were manipulated by Simon through his wealth and promise for love, an emotional con before the actual con, where they borrowed money from banks to lend to him. Turns out Simon uses the money for his own well-being and for his mistresses. This documentary explicitly explains the negative impacts of Tinder. In spite of that, if Tinder is considered bad, why does the victim still use Tinder after being scammed in such a manner that they are required to pay debts for the rest of their life? So this raises the question: could you get addicted to Tinder? Maybe it correlates with the mental health of an individual. Studies have shown that people who use Tinder are more prone to be depressed. They have the need to have constant reassurance and validation from strangers only, which causes them to swipe compulsively, or it could impact their mental health in a way they have social anxiety, which is caused by swiping right but not getting matches continuously, that could lead to social rejection. Clinton Power, a counselor and psychotherapist in private practice in Sydney and online in Australia, talks about the pros and cons of dating on Tinder. It is a good stepping stone to understanding the true nature of Tinder, as he has experienced in his field of study and can therefore provide and verify accurate results. The bright side of Tinder is how quick, responsive, and customized the AI operating system is. Within seconds, a match can be formed between two parties, and it saves all the time and hassle over traditional dating. On the negative side, since it puts your image and basic information on the internet, which may and will forever remain on the internet, raises privacy concerns. There is also the concern, since Tinder is usually connected to many different social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. Moreover, based on past events, Tinder was hacked and the exact locations of users were exposed, leaving them very vulnerable. To add, it makes users compulsive to check their phones more often, as a study concludes that users spend an average of 35 minutes a day on Tinder. Moreover, Tinder is most susceptible to scams, or the more exact term of catfishing, where users will use an enhanced or edited picture to get the needed attention from other users. Moving on, we can also take a look at a research article published by Atlantic Press regarding Tinder, on how the application influences the user's self-concept and perspective on dating based on their socializing experiences through Tinder. Self-concept is how we perceive our behaviors, abilities, and unique characteristics. For example, Tinder users feel that they are more outgoing when socializing through Tinder. They become more active and communicative speakers in order to attract the attention of their potential partners. When they mingle with varieties of people, they will gradually come to realize their worth, their love, and their undiscovered potential in a relationship. Besides improving self-esteem, the users also become more open in their self-disclosure. Here's a fun fact: as of October 2014, Tinder processes more than 1 billion pieces of information per day, which produces around 12 million matches per day. Imagine how many people you can be acquainted with. It's good that they can know themselves and others better when interacting and exchanging information with people. Not to forget, some Tinder users use it as a medium to express themselves freely without worries. You are probably wondering how Tinder users open up to strangers. Firstly, users conduct self-disclosure based on physical appearance. For instance, choosing a pretty or handsome face first before proceeding to be friends. Secondly, the topics discussed on Tinder usually are not discussed in depth to avoid attachment. Thirdly, they are aware that the relationship can be uncomfortable and doubtful that it can break at any time. This can lead to users feeling like they are having two different lives when using Tinder. However, there are also bad sides to Tinder. In order to find the best match, one has to reveal personal information to another. Is the profile crucial to the success of online dating? Yes. But is profile information secure? No. Other than that, it's true that people are able to get to know prospective partners first before moving on to a more serious relationship through Tinder, yet there are also people who just want to have fun playing around and aren't ready for a relationship. In the end, we as users must be able to control ourselves when using these types of platforms. It is okay to find love, regardless of the ways, but we must keep it to a minimum. Either setting a time limit on this app or setting a healthy boundary when communicating. These ways minimize the negative impacts of Tinder while fully utilizing the app.